DZRJ 810 AM, the voice of the Philippines proudly brings you Equal Justice. Find out the hottest legal issues of the week and hear the analysis. And now, here are your hosts, Attorney Ador Tolentino,
Yes to peace, no to BBL.
Facebook yan.
Facebook. Okay, if you want to follow
Attorney June Kicha,
Kailangan comfort level eh.
exactly.
and Attorney Tiki Tabuhara.
Vice President Binay, pati si Pinoy, pati si Executive Secretary. Chief. And good afternoon.
It's
and,
nice to be back.
Kamusta? Welcome back. Mukhang miss na miss ka na namin, partner.
Salamat. Kayo rin, Mr. Bisco eh. Well,
kasi-
unfortunately, there are some things we cannot run away from.
Ayun. Mukhang nag-run away naman si Atty. Ador.
Oo. Ador is enjoying the cold
Asan ba siya ngayon?
the cold South Korea, I think.
Asan ba si Atty.
Yeah. Mahirap kasi kapag nagpapalit yung presidente and there are a lot of changes, especially with this incoming administration. I think hanggang lahat ng presidential appointees were asked to file their courtesy resignation. So there's a lot of down to the director level sa gobyerno, maraming papalitan. That's why katulad natin kapag may mga kliyente tayo who are into nasa permitting stage, there will be
A gap.
yes, suddenly there will be a change in a changing of guards.
Okay.
So
paano ba?
kailangan
May mga-
madaliin mo eh.
Wala bang transition period na, for example, come June 30 or July 1, bagong administration na, does that mean na itong mga government agencies na hindi pa napapalitan, they will still continue?
Yeah, I think they will. But
Okay.
but at least ngayon we know that the secretaries will be changed by noon also of June 30. Kaya
Actually, yung secretary, madali lang yan eh. Kasi
Yeah.
obviously, the cabinet members have
Yeah.
to be changed kasi may mga bagong
Yes.
appointees. But what about itong mga minor agencies na, let's say, mga Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources,
Yan yung
mga
hindi pa-
maliliit,
oh.
yung mga Office of Southern Control Communities.
Wala nang ganyan.
Oh, yung mga Northern Control Communities.
wala nang ganyan.
Yung mga ganun, yung mga maliliit. How does that, yung ba kasi ang dami nila, I think there are how many? Mga siguro, 1,000?
Oo.
How do they, kung hindi pa sila napapalitan, let's say appointee ka ng previous administration, and then you are, let's say, the head or an employee of a small agency, how do you, after June 30, how do you conduct your job? Tuloy-tuloy pa ba yan?
Tuloy pa
O
rin yan. You
labas
hold
ka na?
over. Yes.
Ganun.
Unless
Mga
there
SBMA,
is
mga ganun, mga
unless there is a new one
development, ganun.
sworn into office, no.
Hindi
In
ba
some-
terminus yan pagka, let's say, you're a government, let's say, Clark Development Corporation o kaya yung itong SBMA or yung mga to, you're appointed without term yan eh, di ba? Tapos meron, you serve at the pleasure of the President. Now, once the President has already left, June 30, nandun ka pa, wala pang na-appoint na bago, ano bang mangyayari sa'yo doon?
hold over ka
Hindi ba
because that
usurpation
office
yun?
because that office cannot be not functioning, no. So it's I think the theory there is that there is an assumption that you still possess
The power.
the power, and
meron-
if it's
meron sinasabi
yeah.
na usurpation. Ano ba yung usurpation? Yan,
usurpation is when you
exercise
yes.
functions which you do not have authority.
Yes, oo.
So,
ito ngayon may authority ka pa naman eh. Oo, because but in some cases there is a legal provision, no? Statutory yung there is a statutory provision about the length of your appointment. For instance, commissioners of the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, they have a term of I think 3 years.
yung walang term,
2 years.
paano yun?
Yung walang term,
You're
tuloy-tuloy pa rin. Yes.
Hindi ba deemed vacated yung
Hindi
president?
yata deemed vacated because it cannot be not functioning.
Okay.
No, every government office has to function. Kung wala, so it's up to the new president.
Maybe we can go on to the hot topic of today.
Yes, because it's really hot. Yes.
Hindi naman hot na yung nakita mo ba hot.
Yes.
Di ganun. Kasi yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon is about that eh.
Yes.
Yung isang mga,
Yeah.
yung karumal-dumal na
And because
interes ng mga lalaki sa
because
babae.
because and the context, of course, is very interesting because now we are at the dawn of a new presidency, whose promise it is to stop these heinous crimes. Within 6 months.
How?
And of course, the question we had always questioned that. How would he do that?
Sabi na,
Yes.
you kill a criminal, I will
Yes.
give you a medal.
Yes.
You kill a drug lord, I will give you 5 million pesos.
Yeah.
Sabi naman ng
Yeah.
drug lord, you try to kill me, I will
I will
pay
give
you
you
50
1
million
billion.
if you pay Duterte. If you kill it.
Yeah.
So, nagpapalitan
Yes.
yan ng reward
Yeah.
system.
Oo.
Mas malaki yan sa drug lord. Mas
Yes,
malaki.
oo.
So,
Actually, Tiki, because very recently din, 'di ba, beheaded yung isang Canadian yung isang Canadian hostage ng Abu Sayyaf, and the Abu Sayyaf said, "This is for Duterte." Yes, or something. And these are is this the way we would welcome the new president?
well,
No?
actually, ang
Yes,
masaklap doon, partners, that when I saw the video, I watched it. Both
Yes.
videos, si John Risdell,
Yes.
saka itong si Robert Hall.
Mhm.
No, ang sinabi nung sa Risdell, yung una, nung bago siya pinagutan, may binasa silang parang parang Islamic na verse or whatever, and then Tagalog na, no?
Mhm.
Ikaw, Pinoy Aquino, dahil hindi mo binabayan ransom namin, na hiningi namin, pag nakita kita, ikaw din, gagawin ko to, puputulin ko rin ulo mo. Yun ang
Wow.
sinabi Pinoy Aquino. And then doon sa pangalawa naman, syempre wala na si Pinoy Aquino, so it's now Duterte.
Yes.
President Duterte, ito ang parang para sa iyo. Welcome namin sa iyo. Dahil hindi mo kami pinapansin, parang ganoon. So, it's so it's so shocking, no, yung itong crime na nangyayari. But nagtataka nga kami na why can't we solve these problems once and for all?
Yes.
Diba? Yung
Yes.
terrorism, ulit-ulit
And
na lang,
then
diba?
this rape.
Diba? And,
Yes.
kung ano-ano mga, kung ano-ano
And this
mga-
week nga, this very heinous na nga yung rape. Heinous crime na nga yung rape. I think this is the most heinous of all the heinous crimes.
Alam mo, ang
Because
masama dito kasi I monitored itong incident ng rape ng UV, no? Utility vehicle, na kung saan sa Quezon City meron isang utility vehicle na Corolla pala siya, no? So mukha siyang pasahero doon sa may Centris, doon sa
Yes.
may Quezon Avenue corner.
right in the heart of the city.
Corner
in fact,
EDSA. Kung
yes,
saan ako
yes.
pauwi, no? Dumadaan. And then, he would pick up young ladies who would be going home late at night. May kasama siyang, sa harap, may kasama siyang parang accomplice. Tapos, magdedeklara ng hold up. And then, tatali yung mga babae, iikutin sila, kukunin yung mga cellphone, tatapan yung mga cellphone. Tapos, dinala yata sa Caloocan, din napunta sa may Sauyo, doon sa may bandang Fairview.
This is the one that happened,
This is the one that happened last
yes,
Wednesday night, no?
There were only two. There were two girls,
oh.
and two of them. My
ang
God.
nangyari, dinala sa empty lot, and then doon na ni-rape, no? So, and then they were actually let loose, no?
Yeah.
Pinalakad
At least
sila.
hindi pinatay.
Hindi pinatay, pero nakatali yung kamay from the back, and then
Yes.
kitang-kita doon sa CCTV, doon sa road na kung nasaan sila makita, they were trying to use their legs to
Yes.
flag down a taxi
Yes.
para makasakay sila.
Yeah.
So, kawawang-kawawa talaga. No? Kawawang-kawawa talaga. And, nung nagkaharapan itong dalawang victims, nahuling yung
How were they caught?
they were caught by the markings on the car. Parang may nakalagay doon sa harap na very popular motorist group eh. Nag-react nga yung grupo na yun eh kasi kliyente ko. Tapos fake daw yung sticker na yun. Di raw sila yun. Pero nakita yung ganun, and then yung kulay ng van, yung plate number, nakita yung guy. So nung nakita yung victim, nagkaharapan sila doon sa Camp Karingal. It made parang yung kinilapot ako.
Yeah.
My blood was curdling, tumatay yung balahibo ko doon sa arms ko kasi yung sigaw ng babae na talaga, parang matakas na shrill yung cry, binubugbog, hinampas na sabi, patayin nyo na yan. Handa akong manindigan dito na marami pang ibang i-rape yan. Marami nang ginawa yan. Handa akong manindigan, para patayin nyo na yan, sabi. And it's, even the relatives were all also distraught na yung nangigilig sa galit ko. So, sabi na, President Duterte, kayo na lang ang pag-asa namin. Tulungan niyo po kami, maawa na kayo sa amin. So, ako naman, nung narinig ko yun, naawa na ako. So, I texted yung isang tao doon sa station na kilala ko, no? And sabi ko, pare, I will volunteer to prosecute this case for free. Kasi ang panawagan is
Yes.
to help eh. So,
Uh-uh.
the following day, ginawa akong guest dun sa show. And then, nag-comment lang ako dun sa incident. Yun lang. So, ikaw, how do you react to that? Kasi, parang it's so...
I mean, what can you say? No, unang-una, ano lang naman yan eh. The victims themselves have spoken. Nahuli na. Okay, the question is, what do you do with these?
Him.
Yes, with him. What happened to the other one?
Alam mo, ang nangyari, partner, kasi dito, ang malupit dito, yung isang driver ang nahuli, and then yung isang accomplice, yung body nakawala. Okay, now, they caught him the following night.
Yes.
Okay, at around 1 o'clock in the evening.
Yes.
Ngayon, itong kwento, at 3 o'clock in the morning, dinala siya ng pulis sa van nila, papunta doon sa bahay niya kasi according to him, kukunin daw niya yung mga cellphone tsaka yung mga gamit ng babae na kinuha niya. Okay, but along the way, 3 o'clock in the morning,
he got
the
lost.
van full of police, he tried to, kunyari inagaw doon yung van ng police, at binaril siya. So, he was shot while trying to escape.
I think this is where the social discussion is now, because I don't think there's a legal issue as far as the prosecution of the rape is concerned. You have your witnesses, the victims are willing to talk, especially because there are two, no? So they can corroborate.
Tsaka marami pa,
Yes.
partner, as of yesterday, mga 4 yatang nag-come forward to execute complaints against the same person. At siya rin tinuro doon sa kulungan. So he was still in jail.
O talagang makukulong siya. Okay.
Well, he's in jail, but the question is, nung
Yes.
nagkaroon ako ng interaction doon sa victims, ang naging problema yata, yung rape nangyari nung 2 days before. He was arrested 3 days after. So the question is, was his arrest in flagrante delicto or caught in the act valid, or kailangan pa dumaan sa preliminary investigation? Yun ang question doon. Although he's still in jail.
Yes.
Okay, now, come a time, a lawyer will come along and ask, ilang araw na yan nakakulong?
Yes.
Na-charge na ba yan?
Yes.
When
yes.
was he arrested? During the act or after the act? Yan ang tanong
Yes.
di ba? Kasi when you bring the prosecutor,
Yes.
when you bring the itong
Yung-
culprit before
yes.
the prosecutor, ang unang tanong ng prosecutor, titignan yung arrest sheet kung kailan siya
Yes.
nahuli Kung lumagpas ka doon sa 72 hours or 48 hours or whatever it is,
Yes.
for the time na kailangan siya ma-charge, released for further investigation yan. So,
Yes.
PI sila.
Yes.
Yan ang problema.
Pero kasi nga nagsumbong, di ba? I mean, yung mga babae nagsumbong sa police. What happened then was there was a manhunt. Because as I know it, now that you've raised it, because as I know it, if the person is not caught, if the culprit is not caught in flagrante delicto, then you will need a warrant of arrest to do that.
Or dadaan sa preliminary investigation.
Or dadaan ka sa preliminary investigation.
Well, as you know,
Yes.
under our law, just for the benefit
Yes.
of our viewers, ang isang criminal, unless he is caught in commission of the act,
Yes.
hindi siya pwedeng arestuhin agad-agad.
Yes.
So, he cannot be jailed. So, if he is caught in the act of committing the crime at na-aresto siya right then and there, dadali siya sa prosecutor for
Yes.
inquest.
Yes.
Okay, inquest proceedings na yan will determine whether or not charges should be filed.
Yes.
Pag na-file na yung charges, piyansa na siya or he should remain in
Yes.
jail depending on the crime.
Yes.
Pagka lumagpas ka doon sa 72 hours na huling tao na walang warrant,
Arbitrary detention.
he must be
Yes.
brought before a prosecutor or a court. Otherwise, the policeman can be charged for arbitrary detention. Sinabi
Yes.
mo, di ba?
Uh-huh.
So, I
In
think
that case, 36 hours yun, di ba?
parang,
36.
ang alam ko, parang pagka rape yata, dahil capital offense,
Yes.
36 or
36
72 hours or mga ganon.
Uh-huh.
Nag-iiba-iba yan
Yes,
every year. So,
Maximum yan, maximum. Basta maximum
so
ng
he's still in jail. So, it's
Uh-huh.
been already around, 3 days?
3
4
days.
already. So,
Yeah. There must have been a case filed already. But the problem is, even if he's in jail, even if, despite the manhunt, I thought there still needs to be a warrant of arrest. I'm not sure about that anymore.
well, ang alam
Yes.
ko kasi dyan, parang, I read some Supreme Court rulings before, no? Lalo na dito sa mga cases ng, I think it was the case of Rolito Go. Na itong si Rolito Go, parang na-charge siya 1 week, or he was arrested 1 week after the incident.
Yes.
Rolito Go, yung
Oo.
shooting ni
Yes,
Edward
yes,
Magwan.
yes. Oo.
And mangyari, nung nakakulong siya, kinulong siya kagad ng polis kasi he was already suspect, highly suspect na siya. And then his lawyer, itong si attorney Raymond Armovit, yung matanda, not that child, not the son, who was our professor also in that subject, he filed a petition in the Supreme Court questioning the legality of the arrest.
Yes.
Okay, and then ang ruling ng Supreme Court, dapat nga daw, sabi ng Supreme Court, he should be entitled to a preliminary investigation.
Yes.
Kasi he was arrested more than a week after the incident. So in that case, his arrest was no longer subject to inquest proceedings.
Yes.
Dapat
Kasi
na-PI
dapat,
na siya.
oo.
Ang problema sa preliminary investigation, magsasabit ka ba ng counter affidavit, complaint affidavit, reply affidavit, bago mag-ruling pang fiscal. Although in that case, I think finast-track na. Sabi ng prosecutor at the time, I think it was Dennis Villa Ignacio was the prosecutor of Pasig at the time. Rizal. Sabi niya, 1 week tinapos na yung PI pati resolution. So, he remained in jail. So, ganun lang yan, yung technicality yun lang.
Okay.
Yun lang.
Okay. So, basta ma-PI siya kaagad.
Parang the Supreme Court threw it back to the preliminary investigation level and said that unless the accused person, the suspect, is caught in flagrante delicto or in the act of committing the crime, he will require a preliminary investigation before he is charged.
Yes.
So, ganun lang. So, ano ba naman preliminary investigation? So, ordinary na tao, aabot ng 6 months to 1 year. Meron mga 5 years Pero,
the policeman said, the cop said that, nag-agaw armas ito, kaya na baril. And then there is a what we call the presumption of regularity on the part of
alam mo, natatawa nga ako dito kasi before that he was killed or even caught, ang usapan dun sa Facebook, no?
Yes.
Pag nahuli na yan, gawin na lang dyan, kunyari, agaw armas na lang.
Ganun lang yung ano.
And that's exactly what happened. So parang it has become already a by term.
Yes.
A byword na agaw armas. Because if I recall correctly before, there have been several instances where this tactic which is basically extrajudicial killing has been used by the police, no? Meron ako alam dati, may suspect sa Manila, he killed the Manila policeman. Suspect dati. Siguro this is about in the 70s, no?
Yes.
And then mainit ang police sa kanya, no? So nahuli, binuk siya, ganun, galit ng mga police. He killed the police, cop killer Tapos mangyari, nakakulong siya, ongoing yung trial. Biglang one evening, at around 1 o'clock in the morning, dinala siya sa scene of the crime. At 1 o'clock in the morning, police dinabas sa kulungan, dinala sa scene of the crime to reenact the crime. So, tapos, kung nang inagaw daw yung baril ng police, takbo siya, binaril. So, wala na nagreklamo.
Dramatic pa yung ano.
And then we know, of course, the case of Don Pepe Oison.
Yes.
Mga 85 to Don Pepe Oison was also a famous suspect drug lord from Cebu. So nahuli siya, dinala siya dito sa Trinay kasi malakas daw siya sa Cebu. And then at that time, he was in the custody of Alfredo Lim. He was then PNP whatever, general or whatever. Itong one day, broad daylight, mga 9 o'clock na umaga, dinala daw siya sa isang closed van sa heart center kasi daw masakit.
Masama yung
Okay, right outside of the heart center, doon sa East Avenue, binaril siya because she was shot dahil inaagaw daw niya yung baril
ng polis.
Ng gwardiya na. So, ano ba masasabi mo yan, partner? That seems to be a byword now. Shot while trying to...
Yes, agaw armas. But that has always been, kahit sa mga NPA dati, ginagawa na nila yan. Agaw armas, no? Kaya pwedeng barilin. But that I think, but then because there is such a thing as a presumption of regularity, that means to say that the law presumes that if what is done by a public officer in the regular course of performing his or her duties is done regularly, meaning in accordance with the law, no? So
this type of behavior by the police, no, is exactly the reason why our constitution and our laws on rights of the accused were enacted.
Yes.
Kaya nga rights of the accused All suspects shall be proven innocent
until proven
beyond
guilty.
reasonable doubt
Yes.
in the court of law.
Yes.
Okay. No extrajudicial torture, coercion
Yes,
of
shall be
confession,
done. Yes.
or
Uh-huh.
shall be committed or inflicted
Yes.
upon the suspect.
Yes.
Diba? Neither shall he be remained incognito.
Yes.
You know, and yung mga ganun, no, yung
Mga desaparecidos.
and there have
Yes,
been
yes.
so many jurisprudential
Yes.
cases,
Yes.
you know, by the Supreme Court led by Miranda versus Arizona, Illinois versus Escobedo,
Yes.
Escobedo versus Illinois, and then yung mga atin din, no, yung mga cases natin,
Yes.
no. So because torture and yung itong bubugbugin yung suspect para umamin, wala siyang abogado, has been always the way that confessions have been extracted from suspects.
Yes.
And it has not always been accurate.
Yes.
Na yung tao umamin dahil binugbog siya, hindi dahil talaga siya guilty.
Oo.
Diba?
Yes. So ngayon yun yung problema unless somebody raises that issue in court. And
Sino pa?
Kaya nga yun yung tanong. In our history, no, as you have been telling us kanina pa, no, in our history, pag ganyan na yung kaso, wala na nagrereklamo.
Correct. Kasi you have to understand that
Yes.
may nakita ko headlines na ngayon sa Java na so far in the Duterte's war against crime, the poor have been hit the hardest.
Yes.
Kasi puro mahihirap yung nahuhuli,
Yes.
puro mahihirap yung pinapatay. Wala pa ako narinig na malalaking tao na charge, na kulong o natanggal, di ba? Puro banta
Yes.
lang di ba? Na ikaw, pag hindi ka umamin, pare-resigning kita. Ikaw, pag hindi ka nag-resign, I will charge you.
Yes.
Pero yung mga napapatay,
Oo.
30 plus na eh.
Yes.
Puro tricycle driver, yung taga Batangas, yung taga kung saan-saan,
Yes.
driver. So, there seems to be a lopsided
Yes.
treatment
Yeah.
against yung mahihirap kaysa yung mayayaman.
Uh-huh.
Diba? Parang para sa namin pag mayaman.
Kasi yung mga mayayaman wala sa kalsada, tiki. Mga mahirap dito. But I think what is evident about this is that we have been these experiences have shown now how people have taken the law into their hands.
Correct.
Diba?
Kasi ang naging problema kasi dito, if I may add, no, doon sa sinabi ko na people take the law into their own hands, and as admitted by the PNP in the news yesterday by spokesperson General Wilben Mayon, no, na police are just taking their cue from the pronouncements or encouragement of the President-elect
Yes.
to tell them to do what they're doing. So, yun ang problema.
Pero hindi pa nga si Noy pa ang presidente.
Pero ginagawa na.
Sumisip-sip na
No, so at least we can see already what's going on because we hear a lot of these drug lords suspected being killed, ganito, ganyan. So, the word that we have to consider is suspected.
Yes.
Okay. Pagka siya ay proven na, wala tayong problema doon. Diba? Bigyan mo ng death penalty. But pag suspected, the problem is who will decide o sino maghuhusga kung yung tao
sino,
yan ay guilty o hindi.
Oo.
Na kinakailangan siyang patayin o kailangan siyang i-charge sa court.
Yeah.
Diba?
Kasi mob rule na yung nangyayari eh. Ito yung wala
Lust
na
for blood.
Yes, oo.
People are wanting, they want blood.
Yeah.
Even itong biktima, sabi niya, patayin nyo na yan. Patayin nyo na yan. Yan ang sinabi. Tapos, ang buka, President Duterte, ikaw lang ang pag-asa namin, maawa na kayo sa amin. Hindi na nangyari, di ba? So, well, we have to admit that part of me, yung sinulit ko part of me says he deserved it.
Yes.
Okay, but part of me also says I would have wanted his guilt to have been proven.
Yeah.
Kasi mas sigurado tayo.
Yes.
Mahirap yung police magde-decide. One day, they could come in your house.
Yes.
Uy, drug addict ka. Ito, planta kita ng marijuana. Halika, lumabas ka dito, pariling kita.
Yes, which was actually what happened during the time of Marcos,
Yes,
no?
yes,
Yung
yes.
'di ba?
Ganon,
Yung mga
hinihila,
aso, yung mga anybody could be a suspect and every suspect could be done away with.
Tsaka tandaan mo nun, walang habeas corpus nun.
Yes, oo.
So, pag hinuli ka, walang warrant of arrest, suspended na yung warrant of arrest. No? So, ang tawag doon, Presidential Commitment Order.
Yes.
PCO. So, if the President commits you o gives an order na hulihin mo yan si Benigno Aquino,
Yes.
patayin mo siya. Tapos ka
Tapos
na.
yun.
So, that is legal. Under the martial law
Yes.
regime.
Oo.
Legal yun because he had powers, emergency powers. Pero under the democratic processes that we have now, it is we have changed all that and we have already put safeguards in na imbis na dire-diretso kang papatayin at huhulihin ka ng police, may mga safeguards ka na.
Yes. Oo.
As a citizen, di ba?
Yes.
Na you are a suspect, hindi ka pa proven guilty, litisin natin yung pakinggan natin yung kwento mo. Let's hear both sides and let's see what is the final
Yeah.
verdict. Di ba ganun?
Yes.
Ganun dapat eh. Kasi otherwise, there will be no review. Di ba?
Yes.
No summary lang tayo. Summary decision ng police at the street
Yeah.
level. Bunutan ka ng barel, putukan ka, plantahan ka ng shabu, tapos ka na. Di
At
ba?
saka isa pa, we all know that there are 16 million people who voted for Duterte. We respect that. He's a popular president. But there is also the Constitution.
Which is above him.
Yes, which is above him, above all of us, yeah, which we ratified, di ba? And that Constitution says rule of law. The Constitution says due process. Bakit ganun bakit natin tatanggapin ito? And naintindihan ko yung victim, no? At saka yung family niya. Siyempre, nabiktima ka eh. Ang sakit-sakit doon eh. Siyempre, may outburst ka, may emotional outburst ka. But the fact that you are
reporting it.
Yes. And And the fact that you were calling for them to kill the victim. Okay lang 'yun eh. I mean kasi naiintindihan ko 'yun eh.
Out of anger,
Out of
frustration.
anger.
But of course literally hindi dapat 'yun.
Yes, pero dapat yung police naiintindihan nila na hindi ganoon dapat.
They should
At
be the
tayo
ones,
rin. Yes, tayo rin dapat naiintindihan natin na hindi ganoon dapat.
Yeah, actually you're right no kasi when it comes to ito the judicial system no. We are all actually in it together no. Lawyers, judges, police, diba, law enforcement, and everybody complements each other. We
Yes.
cannot have law enforcement without lawyers.
Yes.
Neither can we have lawyers without the enforcement.
Yes.
Kasi sino mag-enforce ng batas no. But I guess what we have to realize is that everything must work in synergy with each other.
Yes.
So the law, law enforcement, the judicial system, and the courts.
Yes.
So one without the other is not justice.
Yes.
Diba? That is vigilantism, diba? No, you take the law into your own hands, as you say, no? Na masuspect mo na itong tao to. Ayan, tinuro, yan, addict niya. He's a drug pusher. Pinuntahan mo kagad, binaril mo. What if that person pointing the finger is not telling the truth? May kagalit lang pala. Diba? Pinatay mo na yung tao. So, ito what disturbed me about this killing of this body, no? Dito sa UV rape case, no? Nung nakita ko yung may maliit na parang video na pinost somewhere, mga 30 seconds. Nung hinuli siya, nakaposa siya, naka-chinelas, naka-short pants. Iba itsura nung nahuli doon sa nakita doon sa CCTV. He looked quite young. So yung sa CCTV na galing doon sa van na nirape ng babae, he looked like a young man. Mga late 20s. Itong nahuli, parang 40 plus na matanda na. Puti na yung buhok and everything. He was protesting his innocence. So, we did not know what happened again because he's dead already.
Yes.
But ang masakit doon is that we may have killed the wrong man.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
And then the real rapist is still out there.
Yes.
Diba? Free to do. Itong kwento lang na kwento, haka-haka. We might get the wrong person.
Yes. At marami ng ganyang cases. Marami ng ganyang cases.
Wrongfully killed. And you know who's the most famous case? The death penalty convict who was an innocent man. The most famous of all time. Jesus Christ. Si Jesus Christ, innocente. He was God.
Yes.
He was sentenced to death for a crime he did not commit. Pinatay.
Yes.
And later on, pinagsisihan ng mga tao. Ba't natin pinatay yun? He did not deserve to die. So that is the number one argument against these extrajudicial killings. No?
Yes.
At least, ako, para sa akin, pag nilitis mo yung krimen at you hail the person to court, the suspect, and you try him, and then you listen to the witnesses, you see the evidence, you weigh all the circumstances, meron moral certainty
Yes.
na more or less, you are maybe 99% for sure that he is guilty. Although nothing is ever 100%. But the moral certainty is there. Proof beyond reasonable doubt.
At saka yun, di ba? Kahit man lang, at least by legal truth ka, na hindi katulad nitong
katulad ng illegal truth.
Yeah, hindi katulad ng illegal truth. Well, I-recognize natin that there is such a problem. But the solution is not that you take the law into your own hands.
But to improve.
But to improve the justice
Ayun.
system. And you have to accept the fact that it is a progressive one. Iterative work yan. Hindi yan nakukuha sa isang Duterte. I mean, yung papasok lang siya tapos aayusin ko lahat ito. Hindi eh.
It will take time.
Yes, and we will be the ones to correct our mistakes.
Kaya kukuha ka ng magaling na abogado na di kampanilya, katulad ni Atty. Jun Kitcho. At saka ni Atty. Ador Tolentino. Kung nakikinig ka, nananawagan kami kay Atty. Ador Tolentino na ikaw mag-volunteer sa mga prosecute ng mga criminal case.
Kala ko tama na yung pag-enjoy dyan sa South Korea.
Ayun. Pero, alam mo, when I saw the anguish of the victims,
Yes.
alam mo, for me, I really, my heart
Yes.
sank. No?
Yeah.
My heart sank. Kasi, sabi ko, here is a young woman who was gravely wronged.
Yes.
At nananawagan siya kasi wala ngang tutulong sa kanya.
Yes.
Kung walang tutulong sa kanya, she will not obtain
Yes.
justice. Yan ang sinasabi niya eh. Which is wrong.
Yes.
Di ba?
Yes.
Di ba?
Tama ka dyan. Ang tingin ko, kapag it is right that we bleed, no, for this, that our hearts should bleed for victims, especially for rape victims, such that we must ensure that the wheels of justice would grind properly. I think that should be the answer.
Hindi grinder.
Hindi grinder.
Hindi grinder.
Yes.
Okay, so the wheels of justice should grind.
Yes.
Now, gano'ng kabilis ba itong wheel of justice na to?
Ay, yan
Gano'ng
na
kabilis
yun.
ba yan?
Yan
Yung
na.
ba'y pag-final mo yung kaso, within 1 month, tadyan na, conviction ka na, 1 year.
Kailangan may ganyan. Kailangan
How
magawa
long
natin
does
yan.
a criminal case take to prosecute normally in your
Yes.
experience, partner?
May isa akong kaso eh. Simple. What do you call that? Simple sexual harassment case. And it's
10
been
taon na.
running for the ang victim ay isang incoming freshman. Pulis na po yung freshman.
Pulis na. May asawa at may anak na. Hanggang ngayon, may nililitis may kaso niya. So,
yun yung isang problema, Rob. But we have to factor that in DK because this is an accepted adage.
Partner,
The justice delayed is
justice denied. So,
Yes,
partner,
it
meron
has
nga
to
kaming
run
kaso na
fast.
meron kaming kaso na child abuse eh. Yung victim child, di ba?
Oo.
Natapos yung kaso, may asawa at may anak na.
Kala ko nag-debut pala.
May asawa at anak
Yes.
na. 3 na anak, saka na nagkaroon ng decision. So, this is a wake-up call also for our judges and prosecutors,
Yes.
no? Kasi meron tinatawag na private prosecutor. A private
Yes.
lawyer can actually
Yes.
prosecute a case under the control and supervision of the public prosecutor.
Yes.
But the public prosecutor, yung tinatawag na fiscal, he is the one still primarily responsible for trying and prosecuting all
Yes.
criminal cases. So, mangyari, kung siya kukupad-kupad, medyo mahina, wala talaga mangyayari. And
But there
did
is also one thing, Tiki, there is also one thing. One of the reasons why many of these cases are delayed is because the witnesses do not show up.
or refuse.
Yes,
Parang
or
nawawalan ng
refuse.
gasolina.
Yes. Ngayon, kung tayo, ordinary citizens, how do we help make this our justice system work? Is to if we witness a crime, we must volunteer and we should attend our yung mga trial, we present ourselves to the court kung when we are witnesses. Otherwise talaga madidelay yan. May isa kaming witness, 1 taon naming hinihintay yung witness. Ayaw ng judge isara yung ipa-waive yung
Right. Kasi kailangan
right. Kasi
antayin.
kailangan critical.
So,
Critical doon sa sa victim yung
So, basically, what you're saying is what I saw also, na no offense sa mga victims, no? Pero minsan kasi, if you do not pursue your case,
Yes.
minsan akala mo pag file ng kaso yun na panalo ka na. No, you have to appear in court, you have to follow up, and you have to be there to testify against your
Yes.
accused person,
Yes.
yung big criminal, no? Otherwise, wala mangyayari, hindi siya mako-convict. Now, based on the records of the Supreme Court, ang conviction rate sa Pilipinas currently is about 15% of all cases. So, of
Yes.
all cases filed, 15% ang
Ang
na
conviction.
convicted. And then, among those cases filed, mas konti pa siya doon sa mga cases reported.
Yes.
So, cases reported, sabihin natin 100, yung cases filed in court, siguro mga kalahati lang siguro, less than half, di ba? So, among those cases that are filed, 12% lang ang nako-convict. So, very
Yes.
small number, no? So,
Yes.
ano kayang reason kung ba't ganun?
Marami sa kanila hindi dumarating yung
Witness.
yung witnesses.
Yung complainant mismo, yung victim.
Yes.
Ano pang iba?
I think marami sa kanila sa settle.
Okay, so
Aha.
meron tayong tinatawag na pag-file mo ng case, meron referral to mediation,
Yes.
tapos aayusin na lang, ma'am, bigyan ka ng 150 million, 50,000, nirape kita, sorry, pipirma na lang ako ng sorry, payag na kayo, yes. O, didismiss na yung kaso
Dismiss
yun.
yung kaso.
Okay.
Oo.
Because it's a private crime.
Yes.
Okay.
Oo.
What about corruption? Meron din ganun.
I think meron din corruption.
O kaya yung sobrang bagal.
Oo.
Yung sobrang bagal ng... Kasi pagpunta namin ng court, ako, I'm a trial lawyer. Nasa court ako almost every day. Puro reset lang eh. Reset.
Yes.
Wala yung judge, nagsiseminar, wala yung fiscal. Reset. Tapos, ang dalawa lang bati namin sa court eh.
Yes.
Ang joke ang lawyers ang bati namin dalawa lang. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Pag na-reset yung kaso mo, Happy Easter ka na.
Oh.
Pag nag-Easter ka na, dumating ka,
Yes.
Easter
That's
na,
true.
no? Happy Easter. Merry Christmas ka.
Kasi
doon ka na magkikita
diba,
eh.
normally dapat a case is heard once every month. Sana.
Well, dapat weekly.
Oo
Under
nga.
the
Well, sana kung
Speedy Trial Act.
Speedy Trial Act,
Oo.
yes. Yeah, but ngayon 3 buwan ang setting ng cases. There was a time I really slowed down on trial.
Swerte ka pa
Yes.
noon.
Oo nga.
Pag BP22,
Yes.
baka 6 months ang setting.
There was a time I really slowed down on my trial practice because ilang cases yun sabay-sabay every setting. Nagpo-postponement lang kami. I could not move on.
Humina rin kita mo.
Well. ang kawawa yung ano because I always see to it that at least 30% of at least 70% of the time or even 75-80% I am not the reason why
There's
for
delay.
the postponement. Yes. So I have always been diligent. I am proud of that, no. The problem is kung lagi na lang ganyan yung kita, paano ka tatanggap ng bagong kaso kung lahat ng kaso mo tumatakbo? Ang hirap.
And remember
Yes.
that the victims also demand speedy justice.
Yes.
So every time there's delay, reklamo na yan eh.
Yes.
Bakit delay? Ito na naman, nag-absent ako sa trabaho ko para lang pumunta rito.
Yes.
Pagdating ko dito, wala judge, wala
Yeah.
fiscal. O kaya, mabagal lang talaga ang
Yes.
resolution ng mga cases.
Yes.
So,
And the fact is that they are alienated from the process because we speak a different language.
tsaka wala nang ano, kung baka sa kanila, gusto namin 1 linggo na tapos na.
Yes.
Bakit tumatagal ng 3 taon yung kaso ko? Di ba? Whereas very clear that ito na-pinpoint ko na yung kriminal, tinuro ko na, siya na nga talaga gumawa, nirape ako, ako pa naagrabyado. Di ba? Parang, so I think we have to also look at ourselves also as officers of the court.
Yes.
You know, to make sure that victims are also given speedy justice. Di ba? Speedy justice.
Yeah.
So,
That
ano na
It's
ba tayo? Ang bilis ng panahon?
It's
So,
3 o'clock.
kumbaga, nasa ano tayo ngayon?
Meron pa
Execution.
tayo, yes.
What are your last words, partner?
I hope that congratulations to the new president. He is going to be sworn in on lunchtime of June 30. And I hindi ko kayo binoto. Hindi pa rin ako very doubtful pa rin ako whether about how you will run this country, but I really wish you all the best, no. I think you have made some very good appointments to your cabinet, and
Hindi yung pinsan mo, ah.
Hindi. Sino pinsan ko?
Sino ba yung kamag-anak mo na, ay, kay Binay pala yun?
Wala. Hindi.
Spokesman
ang
ni Binay.
kilala kong in-appoint na si Liling Briones, si Professor Briones.
Sure. Yes. Very good choice.
Very good choice.
Secretary Biones, if you're listening, hello from Attorney Tabuar and Attorney Kicho.
Yeah.
So let us
Congratulations.
end with those words, and we'll again wish the President-elect good luck, Godspeed on your new oath-taking, and hope that you can solve crime within 6 months as you promised. But wag na natin kalimutan na meron tayong batas, meron tayong constitution, na kung saan we have to follow the law and not take the law into our own
And
hands.
also, incidentally, all my best wishes to the new Vice President, Lenny Robredo. I think
Sige.
she will be a good fiscalizer.
Although wala siyang cabinet position.
Wala siyang cabinet position, but I think she will play the conscience.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, this is Attorney Tiki Tabuhara.
And this is Attorney Jun Kicho.
And this is Equal Justice. See you again next week.